We talk a lot about mentors and mentees in this business acquisition process. And last week, I did a YouTube video, Why I Have a Mentor. I'd encourage you to go over to my YouTube channel. Hopefully, you have already seen where that is. If not, do a search on Why I Have a Mentor. Probably put my name into Google and you'll get over to it. And then like and subscribe, or at least subscribe to you don't have to like it, the video, but it'll explain what a mentor did for me, and I've had two mentors. So this week in this podcast, after you have gone through and looked at that YouTube video, I wanted to talk about in this podcast how to find a business mentor. So there's a few things when you begin this process that are really important to think about. I get asked an awful lot, will I be a mentor for this person? And all of those, for the most part, are all about the person that's sending them, what I can do for them. It's really important when you look at a mentor-mentee relationship that be a mutually beneficial relationship. Now, in our case, that's kind of easy because you're putting together a board, you're giving founders equity, so there's a financial interest which you will exchange for someone to be your chairman. I would not initially say, will you be my mentor? Is it usually that evolves over time. But there's, in that case, in the way we're doing this, there's a financial benefit. But for an awful lot of the people that you want as a mentor, that is not something that is going to be the ultimate reason. They're already pretty well healed. They don't have many financial, if any, financial problems. So the percentage you're going to give them isn't going to be something that changes their world, more than likely, if you've got the right mentor. So you want someone who shares the vision of what you're doing and who wants to be involved in creating that end result for any number of reasons. They think that it would be better for the world. They think it would be better for an industry. It would create an alternative in an industry that they don't like now. There's a lot of reasons why that would be the case. But the person that you want to be successful far beyond where you are. So significantly more successful than you are. Someone who's been there, done that. They are tested in battle. They've had experience that you're going to go through, almost certainly they've solved problems that you're going to experience. And it should be a person that, for the lack of a better word, yes, you can respect, but you actually like being in their company, and hopefully they like being in your company. That's super important because you're going to spend a lot of time with them. The other thing, in that relationship, it gets very, very old if a mentee just says, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? That usually for a skilled mentor or an experienced mentor gets to be an old relationship because they don't see you improving in your executive skills, in your ability to come up with solutions, etc., etc. So remember that. It's much better to interact with a mentor and say, here's the situation, here's what I think is the solution. Are you on the same page? You will, in time, get better at coming up with solutions and making decisions. So that being the case, the mentor will begin to say, okay, this person's learning. I enjoy working with them. They're growing. They're becoming a better executive. It's worth my time to spend time with this person. One thing I will tell you, it is hard to find good mentees. Most of the time when you find a good mentee, and I've been fortunate to have quite a number of them, it's like, wow, okay, this person's driven, they're smart, they're taking action, They're focused on what they can do. They're not bitching and moaning and whining and complaining about their circumstances. They're focused on how you fix these things. A mentor probably will also give you what my mentor called Doofus Tests. They will look to see how you're committed and to what extent you're committed. So they'll look at how quickly do you answer emails. Do you end up doing something on a weekend, on a birthday? Do you shut down and do nothing over those periods of time? They will be watching those things. They will be watching to see what your work ethic is like. And so if you say you're going to do something by this date and don't do it, they'll notice that. If you say you're going to do it by this date and you do it earlier, they'll notice that. If you say you're going to do it by a date, but you can't do it by a date, have you gotten in touch with them ahead of time to be able to say, hey, I've run into a problem, it puts the date in jeopardy, I wanted to talk about the things I could do to get back on track, or the resources that we could allocate to it, etc., etc., etc. So you can do this through LinkedIn, you can do this through Google, but remember, think about first and foremost, what's in it for the other person. And normally, they're going to be interested in why is this important to you? What are you going to do differently than everybody else? Oftentimes that relates to customer experience or customer service or patient experience that oftentimes they have encountered themselves. Sometimes, as I said in the Acquisition Advantage boot camp course, they will end up saying something along the lines of, why is the world a better place because of your great idea? So I would encourage you to take the time to think about that before. You know, a lot of people just send an email. If I really wanted to go after, and I've done this, a big hitter, I would craft a good letter. I would put it on good paper, and I would send it at least by, in the United States, priority mail, and very likely overnight mail. So I stood out from the other people, and I thought about, why should this person care about what I'm doing and be interested in being part of it? If you focus on those things, that you will be much, much better than those people that just, here's what I am doing, I need a mentor to help me, and I want you to be that mentor. That is not what you want. You know, they may be interested in the industry, they may be interested in your thoughts on how you could support a charity from the proceeds of this. I don't know what they're interested in, but you should know, and if you do enough research, you're going to find oftentimes what they are interested in, and then align your request with what's important to them. So I hope that's helpful. If you are looking on how to get started, go over to brucewhipple.com. If you're looking for a mentor, there are certainly options on my website, group coaching. The number one top of the line relationship that I have is the VIP Mastermind group. We're in the process of, at the beginning of a year, adding some spots. So go over to look at that if that's of interest, and then send me an email that you'd be interested in learning more about that. But I'm pretty selective in who goes into that group, and I want to be sure that it's a good fit. And you're going to see some emails, assuming you get my emails, on that subject specifically. So if you're not on my email list, go over to brucewhipple.com. There's a free course there on conversation starters. If you just want to go there directly, just brucewhipple.com/free course. But the mentor-mentee relationship is an important one, and first and foremost, think about what's in it for the mentor, not what's in it for you. We know what that is. Okay. Hope that helps. Hope you take action. And again, go back over to the YouTube channel and listen to that first video. I put in there why I have a mentor. I think that would be helpful coupled with what's in this podcast.